get a little bit jazzier sound with, because this guitar is partially hollow. It's got a depth of about 2.5 inches, 2 3/4 inches. Maybe 2.5 on the sides and maybe 2 3/4 in the middle. So they call it, it's got a little bit of an arch top, it's curved. Sometimes they're carved, sometimes they're laminated wood. Generally they're more expensive if they're carved. This guitar was probably made around 1968, would be my guess. ES 120.
Right on. So let me show you something in the spirit of the most extreme. They got these Telecasters to go kind of a la Archangels or Stevie Ray. I'm going to put a little more heat on it than normal because I didn't bring a million pedals, but you get the idea here. Say it again.
Juice it up. Come on, let's hear some more, guys. Great job.
Some interesting concepts in there. I'm interested because I found this out by accident, but these blues chords, as they're commonly called, they just change in shape based on how the strings are tuned. But when you decidedly choose not to go, instead to block the first one and go Stevie Ray flavor there. What did he choose there? What's going on there?
That's called an E7 sharp 9. Basically what that means is you're playing that, you're throwing that blues note in on the high note from the E7 chord. Your E7 chord would normally sound like this. Now once you throw in that high note, that blues note, it's a very popular concept. Jimi Hendrix used it, Stevie Ray used it, and I don't know if you ever heard Stevie Ray play along with Jimi Hendrix, but it's hard to tell that one is the other. David was vamping on an E sharp 9 chord, which is, if I got volume here. So David's been playing on this E. Jimi Hendrix used to use those riffs a lot. Basically, he went E sharp 9, G to A. Now, when you're just vamping on an E sharp 9 chord, like Dave was just doing, that gives you the opportunity to play on an A minor chord. You can play on an E7 chord. You can play on lots of chords. You also have a B flat built in there. So you could, if you're playing jazz tunes, you might want to harp on the notes that are less traveled, so to speak. So on your E7 sharp 9, you're going. If you want a solo on that, you can go. That was the blues note. Now basically what I combined there was just pretty simplistic. I was staying on the E flat, on the E sharp 9 chord, but went into B flat and then went to a whole tone scale, which is a whole different entity unto itself. Pretty cool.
And what he's showing here through his vocabulary and experience is how to use all them passing tones. And once you know how all the scales fit together, you know how to land where you want to land in time. But for the beginner to intermediate, most of your solos, magically, especially through popular songs, are going to fall in the pentatonic scale.
Absolutely.
So let's just cover second position pentatonic scale where most of your stuff's going to go down. So let's check it out. If we're in key of A, so we're on 5th fret here. Here it is in slow motion. So it's 3 frets up. And down, same thing. So basically all of them are rooted off of 5 here. And you go 3 frets apart on the first and the last 2 high strings. You can make up anything you want. Get your color and all going in a safe framework where you know where you're at. Add those blue notes in like he's talking about, you know.
I'll play a simple A chord and blues jam A, D, and E.
Okay.
And you play the pentatonic and show me how you can make it sound.
All right, we'll show if he's just doing the basic chord scale how you can actually make music if you know your framework.
David played that pentatonic scale for you, and it sounded really cool. You can play over a lot of chords with that. It's just note choice, and it's knowing, trust your ear. Your ear will tell you where you want to go.
Just, you'll land, if you keep practicing, you'll land where you need to land, you know?
And what I did with David at the very end is I started throwing in some additional chords. We started out with A7, D9, A7, then back to D9, A7, then we went from E7, D7, A7. Well, at the end, I started throwing in some more changes to them. So going into your final E7 chord, I started backing into with the change going 1, 6, 2, 5, which is a very common change. You go. Basically, I still stayed on those 3 chords. I just brought you around to it with a different way.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Alright, give us a little break. Figure out what we want to do.
Absolutely.
I'll show you legato like Chris Holmes here. Crazy pull-offs, tying them all in, slides up to it. So slow is a lot